Patagonia, the land of wind, rock, and water. A place where iconic wildlife was free to roam and landscapes so profound they begged to be photographed. Join along and explore. Alright, so we're driving down the roads toward the Puma, and we just saw this perfect Guinakaco with the sunset behind him, so pulled out the 300, 600, and we were able to get a couple quick shots, and it's just beautiful, just really like classic Patagonia image, so really happy we saw that, but now it's time to go to the Pumas, and maybe one more shot. Oh, look at that, look at that. Okay, so before we jump into the meat of this adventure, I should probably start at the beginning. That means travel. It took about 24 hours to get down to Punta Arenas, and from there I rented a car and made my journey north towards Torres del Paine National Park and Chile Nativo's River Camp, which would be my base camp for the next 10 days. But between arriving and finding my first puma, there was lots to see. We started out by hiking the area around Miladon Cave. Here I had an incredible encounter with an Andean Condor. After a bit of a bushwhack, I got into position for a tighter image. The 300-600 f4 lens really made this image pop with its ultra-sharp optics and soft background delivered by the f4 aperture. This big male looked more like a dinosaur than a bird. After that, we checked out Glacier. The interplay of rain, snow, and sun was enjoyable, but it was tough to get photos as the boat was moving fast. After this would be a very memorable trip to Estancia San Luis. While the tourist side of Torres del Paine National Park was great, what I was really there for was the wildlife. The pumas were at the top of my list. Our days were long and started and ended in the dark. As soon as there was enough light, we'd scan the hillsides for movement.
So you can see the big rock in the middle of the pampa?
Yeah.
Slightly open to the left.
Okay.
It's actually looking...
That's the Guinakaco. And that's the cub. Once we found an animal, it was time to break out Sigma's 300-600 f4 lens and get shooting. Often the light was dim, so having that fast f4 aperture was a big help in getting photos and video. We found this beautiful puma feeding on a kill.
what an incredible encounter.
So for the next week and a half or so, what I'm doing is shooting with Sigma's brand new 300 to 600 f4 lens. And right now I want to kind of give you guys some of the details about the lens itself. Okay, so what's most exciting about the new lens is that it is a 300 to 600 zoom, but it is a constant f4 aperture. So that means you get a 300 f4, a 400 f4, 500 f4, and 600 f4 lenses all in one lens. In addition to that, the optical quality of the lens is absolutely incredible. This week we photographed condors, we photographed Andean foxes, and of course the pumas. That's what we're mostly here for. And the detail and richness that you get out of those photos is absolutely incredible. Now, some of the technologies that are really helping us get these amazing images are, for example, the optical stabilization, which I have here. So a lot of times I'm shooting handheld, and when I have the optical stabilizer on, it's actually quite easy to hand hold and get pictures of guanacos, pumas, whatever it is that I'm seeing. So that's really, really helpful. Another key feature of this lens is that it has the HLA autofocus motors, and that means that these are very, very fast to autofocus. And I've already used that a number of times. For example, when the puma was coming right at me, the autofocus tracked his eye perfectly as he moved towards the camera, and because of that we were able to get just absolutely tack sharp images. And of course down here in Patagonia, this place is known for snow, rain, wind, dust. We get all of the elements, and the lens is beautifully sealed towards the elements, so I don't have to worry about dirt and grit and grime and water getting into the lens and compromising the shoot. Okay, so one of the most obvious features that you're going to notice about the new Sigma 300-600 f4 is that it's white. It's the very first white lens Sigma has ever made. And this is done because it can reflect the sunlight and keep the lens a little bit cooler, which will optimize your shooting day when you're out in the heat all day.
There's a ton of other features to the Sigma 300-600 f4, so be sure to check out the website for more information. But for now, let's get back to the pumas. Over the course of 10 days, we saw 17 individual pumas over the course of 25 encounters. We witnessed 2 unsuccessful hunts, which was absolutely unreal to witness. We also saw 2 female pumas with 2 cubs each. One of my favorite encounters was with a well-known puma named Pataka and her 2 grown cubs. And then Danella and her 2 young cubs.
Chile Nativo's Riverside Camp has been really the ideal place for a base camp. You're situated on the west side of the park, so you have easy access to all the sites. The food here is fantastic. The staff is awesome. We have great guides here. So really everything you need is right here at Riverside Camp. So be sure to give the guys a call and set yourself up an adventure today.
All images shot with the Sigma 2470-28, 7200-28, and 300-600 f4 lenses. My time in Patagonia was coming to an end, but I had to get out for one last look. Searching for wildlife can be a very addictive endeavor, but one that alights the spirit and the body. Luck was on my side, and I had an encounter I'll never forget. This beautiful puma was on the hunt. Eons of evolutionary predator perfection bore down on me. It was an intensely powerful moment, and the reason I'm a wildlife photographer. At this point, the puma crossed from the south-facing hillside into the sunlit pampa where the guanaco were grazing. She went into full stalk mode, muscles rippling under her golden coat. She got so close. Then, using a hillside for cover, she went around to a second guanaco. Busted. This would be about as close as she got to a guanaco and would end her hunt for the morning. And for me, it meant it was time to start making my way back home. My time here was unreal. The things I saw, the people I met, and the experience itself was transformative, really. And that's what traveling with a camera is truly all about. It's the experience. As far as I know, life is but a one-way ticket. Might as well get out and see some things. If you have any questions about the 300-600 f4 or any other Sigma lenses I used, please feel free to reach out. And of course, if you have any questions about traveling to Patagonia, I'm always happy to help. This summer, be sure to grab your camera and head out for an adventure of your own. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you out there.